Yep. Namaste. And hey, welcome to Developing Blockchain Apps with Flutter. I'm Manas Pratap Thakur, a software engineer at Geeky Ants. And this guy right here is my Dash avatar. So according to the legend, if I were to be reborn as a Dash, this is how I would look like, right? So let's get started. Before we move on to the actual development, there are two things we need to know. That is blockchain and smart contract. So blockchain is a decentralized database that everyone can access. They have an intriguing property where once data is stored in a blockchain, changing it becomes incredibly difficult. Now, how do they do that? So each block has a data and a hash that is unique to that block. And each block also has hash of the previous block. And this is what makes a blockchain so reliable. Because if you tamper with any block, all the subsequent block becomes invalid. Now, hashes alone are insufficient to avoid tampering because computers these days are very fast. So they can recalculate all the hashes before any change is detected. So, blockchain makes use of proof of work, that is a mathematical puzzle to slow down the creation of block. Also, blockchains are distributed, so they rely on consensus to agree which block is legit and which is not. So to tamper with the block, you'll need to recalculate all the hashes, redo all the proof of work, and take control of more than 51% of the network. Now, this is very difficult to do. So that's why we cannot change anything once it is stored on blockchain. Then, moving over to the smart contract. A smart contract is a small computer program that is stored in a blockchain. So they can remove many third parties from trustless ecosystems. But why should we trust a smart contract? Because since they are stored on a blockchain, they inherit some interesting properties. One, they are immutable. So once the terms of the contract have been agreed upon, they cannot be changed and they are distributed. So once the contract is executed, everyone can verify the result. So now you know what a blockchain and smart contract is. Let's move on to the development. Now, you can develop any blockchain app in four general steps. First, you have to write the contract. Second, build the UI. Third, deploy the contract. And fourth, integrate the deployed contract with the UI. So today we'll be making an application that will mirror the working of a financial institution, right? Here, users could come and deposit some amount at regular intervals, and when the sum of these amounts reaches a certain threshold, we return this amount to the user with some return on investment. Now, if you had to do this without blockchain, you would need to go to a bank to establish trust between us and the user. But with blockchain, you get trust out of the box to raise this kind of capital, right? So contracts, there are a handful of blockchain that support smart contract, and the biggest among them is Ethereum. And we write smart contract using a special programming language known as Solidity. And we make use of Remix to write smart contracts. Let's jump right into it. So this is Remix ID. It is a browser-based ID. So while writing a contract, we first start with mentioning the version of Solidity that we are going to be using. Then we create a contract with the keyword contract and the name in investment. Here we have all the variables that our smart contract will use, and we initialize them using constructor. At last, here are the methods that will help us accomplish what we are trying to do using the smart contract, right? Now, great thing about Remix is you could go here, you would compile, right? And you could see all the errors if there are any. Then you could come here, deploy and run, and you could deploy the smart contract, right? It is deployed. Now these are the four functions. So if I have to add deposit, I have to add 4 rupees as deposit. It is added, and when I check the deposit, I see here 4, right? And now, without even building the UI, I could test all my all the functions of my smart contract, and this is super useful thing to do. That's why Remix is so good. So after we are done with the smart contract, we need to build the UI. Nothing super fancy here, we just need two things. We'll need 4 buttons to check the balance, to check deposit, to deposit the amount, and to withdraw the balance. And second, we'll need 2 text fields to display the balance and display the deposits. That's the UI. basic UI. Then we need to deploy a smart contract using Truffle and Ganache. So Truffle is a development framework for blockchains that run on Ethereum virtual machine, and Ganache will provide us with a test blockchain network. So in our Flutter project at the pubspec.yaml level, we have to run a command truffle init. So it will initialize a couple of files and folders. The first among them is the contracts folder, and under this, you need to create a new file as investment.sol and then copy everything from Remix and paste it here. Now, we did not need Remix actually. We could have just directly pasted it over here, but Remix is super useful as you saw without building a UI I could test, right? So you need to copy all this, paste it here. We have our contract. Now, second thing, under migrations folder, you need to create a file as to deploy contracts.js. Now we prefix it with to maintain the order of execution, right? And in this, we use the artifacts.require to tell which smart contract we are going to be interacting with. Now, the name I've given to my smart contract is investment because we're trying to raise a capital without a bank. So here we tell, yeah, this is the smart contract we would like to interact with. And we have to export a function using module.exports syntax, right? And we use the deployer object to deploy a smart contract. So this is the second thing. And the third thing is to configure our truffle, right? Here, three parts. First thing, we have to give the host and port. This we get when we start Ganache. So this is Ganache, and here you have the RPC server with the host and the port. We do that here. Second, you know, to interact with smart contracts in Ethereum's ecosystem, we have something known as ABIs. So that is application binary interface. And here we need to say that in which directory we would like to store the generated ABIs, right? And third is some compiler information. But the really interesting thing here is the number of runs. So the compiler will optimize a smart contract as if the number is higher than this, the deployment cost would be more and the cost to execute the functions would be less, and vice versa for a number lower than this. And yeah, you're correct. So to run any function or any command on the blockchain, we need to pay to the chain, right? So a number lesser than this will have a higher deployment cost, but lesser a function execution cost. So we have this, and so we are done with these three things, right? Contract and migrations instruction and configure. So we need to jump over to Ganache and we need to add our project like this. Here, you need to choose your truffle config.js. It will be at the pubspec.yaml level. And after you choose, you'll get an option saying save and restart, and you'll reach here, right? After that, at the pubspec.yaml level itself, run truffle migrate, and that will generate the ABIs for you. This is how the ABIs will look like. And we have a deployed contract. So after that, we need to integrate the deployed contract with our UI. Now this could, before doing the actual function, we need to initialize. For initializing, we need to get our credentials, we need to get the deployed contract, and get the contract public functions defined by the contract. So let's see. Yeah, we'll also be needing two packages for it. One is HTTP and other is web3.dart. Now we'll need HTTP package to connect to the RPC server, and we'll need a web3.dart package to connect to the Ethereum node to send a transaction or to interact with the smart contract. So we have these two packages. After that, first thing, we have to generate our credentials using the private key and then get our Ethereum address. We have this here. Then we need to get the contract address by parsing the ABI. Now ABI was generated here, and we need to parse that and get the contract address. So we have our address, we have the contract address, and then we need to specify all the public functions that our contract defines. We do that here, right? So after these three, we are done with the initialization. We are left with only two other things, that is reading and writing. So to read, we have like this. Um, Here is the read one. Here, I've generalized the read function. So wherever in the program you call, you just need to call this method. Here, we it this this function takes a function name, function arguments, and a contract, right? And it returns a result. Now to write, we do the same thing as in read, but we sign the transaction with our credentials because we are the owner of that thing, right? So yeah, we have integrated. Now let's see the app in action. I have it running over here. Yeah, here. So first checking the deposits, it's all is zero. Then when I deposit rupee 3, I have 3 in my deposit, but the balance does not. So because we have a threshold defined as rupee 12. So when I reach that threshold, then we'll credit everything to the balance. So another 6, that should be 9, that should be 12. Yeah. We have 12 here, and we have a balance of 15. That is, we returned the sum 12 plus return on investment, that was 15. Right? That was rupee 3. So 12 plus 3, it is 15. Right? Tough maths, I know. And then we can withdraw the balance after it reaches the threshold. The user could withdraw the balance. And also notice one thing: this is my account in the test blockchain network, and transaction cost keeps on increasing because I executed something, right? So I have withdrawn, all is zero. So this is how the app will work. Now in smart contract that I told you, you get trust out of the box, so you don't need to go to a bank and you can just raise capital like this. So you saw this, and the whole thing is open source. The whole code is open source. So if you decide to dive into it, you could do two things, right? You could attach it with a wallet. So you saw here, I have manually defined a private key. But instead of this, you could have a pop-up to the user saying, "Hey, would you like to connect this wallet?" And when they have connected the wallet, you could use the same thing to to withdraw and deposit amount, right? Everything could be connected to that wallet. And the second thing is, I have deployed this on a test network. You could deploy it on the actual blockchain network, and that would be really satisfying, right? So why does this all make sense? Because with the release of Flutter 2.0, the most difficult part, that is integrating the blockchain with Flutter, with the UI rather, is done. You have to do that only once, right? And you just have to make minor tweaks for different platforms like web, desktop, and mobile. So that integration part that we have to do only once, that saves a lot of time, right? And thank you. We have developed this blockchain application. It is blockchain is a very exciting place to be in. I hope all of you have enjoyed. And this is my Twitter handle. That is the Manas Pratap. You could ask me any question there. You could ping me there. Yeah, that's it. And have a good day, everyone.